If you are hoping to secure a merit seat in a private college through CET because the fees are lower compared to normal admissions, think twice. Private colleges seem to be doing all they can to ensure the 2006 Act is implemented in their favor.
On May 1st and 2nd, lakhs of students across the state will be writing their CET exams, hoping to secure a merit seat in a well-ranked engineering or medical college. But the private colleges have risen in protest against the current fee listed for the admission of each student. In a meeting today, Higher Education Minister R.V. Deshpande and Minister for Medical Education Sharan Prakash Patil requested private colleges to continue with the old fee structure. But it proved to be a fruitless exercise because the private colleges have flatly refused. They have proposed two options to the government: either implement the 2006 Act for CET or increase the current fees by 10%. The 2006 Act will allow them to decide on a fee structure which corresponds with the facilities and quality of education each college offers. This means the good colleges will charge higher fees when compared to the amount they charge for CET students under the current fee structure. The 2006 Act has jolted the students' community because the whole intention of writing CET is lost for the ones coming from a financially weak background. When asked about it, both the ministers and private college representatives responded with vague answers.
We have put across our demands, and still they have to consider. On every issue we have discussed, and let's see what happens ultimately. We have put certain demands before them, and they are considering. It will happen, something good will happen.
Amma ella sari agtade. Student interest will be protected. Institutions, government are all committed to protect the students' interest.
CET exams are about 2 weeks away, and the private engineering colleges are waiting for a response from the government. What remains to be seen, will it be for or against the students? Amrita Patil, News9, Bengaluru.
We have reported on severe water shortage faced by Bengalurians this summer. Despite numerous requests, complaints and protests, the corporation has failed to live up to their expectations.
The residents of Patanduru, Agrahara in Whitefield today took to the streets in loud protest against the corporation. The area has reportedly not been supplied with water for the past 2 years. The residents are forced to buy water through private tankers, spending hundreds of rupees every single day. This is not feasible for these humble residents, but it is either this or travelling 2 kilometers to the nearest functional borewell to fetch water. A tank was constructed in their area 14 years ago to supply water to their homes. Well, this is how the tank looks now. The residents complain that it has been years since the BWSSB officials have bothered to come and inspect the situation. The residents pooled in hundreds of rupees to have the tank cleaned, but that doesn't seem to have helped them either.
ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಹೋಗಿ ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಯಾವ ಸಬೂಬು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳೋದಷ್ಟೇ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಏನು ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟವರು ಯಾರು ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ, BSSB ಆಫೀಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ನೀರಿಲ್ಲ. 2 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯಿತು ನೀರು ಬಂದು, ಈ ಊರ ನೀರಿಲ್ಲ, ಜಲಮಂಡಳಿ ನೀರಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ನೀರು ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ ನೀರು ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಜಲಮಂಡಳಿ ನೀರು, ಕಾವೇರಿ ವಾಟರ್ ನೀರು ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ಕಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
Not only do the taps run dry in summer, but the water tanks too have not been cleaned for years. What is added to the villagers' fury is the fact that they've actually paid extra for water connections to their houses. About 110 villages on Bengaluru's outskirts were put under BBMP's purview in 2008. A new scheme called Greater Bangalore Water Supply and Sanitation was introduced in 2010 to ensure every house in this region is supplied with water. Each household was asked to pay anywhere between 5,000 to 20,000 rupees for water connections. But it has been 3 years since they coughed up for water connections, but even now there are no water pipelines leading to their houses.
ಈಗ ಈ ಜಲಮಂಡಳಿಗೆ ಕಾವೇರಿ ನೀರಿಗಾಗಿ 2005ರಲ್ಲಿ 10,000ರಿಂದ 5,000ರಿಂದ 20,000ವರೆಗೂ ಬಿಲ್ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಫೀಟ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ, 20,000 ಅಂತ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಕಟ್ಟಿದಾಗಿಂದ ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದು ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ಏನಾಯಿತು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಷ್ಟ ಸುಖ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರು ವಿಚಾರಿಸಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು 4-5 ಸಲ ಬಂದು ಅವ್ರು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಯಾರು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಜವಾಬ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಒಂದು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಬರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವ್ರು ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇದೆ. ನೀರಿಗೆ ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಲೋಡ್ಗೆ ಬಂದು 400 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಅವ್ರು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಅವರು ನೀರಿಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 4 ದಿವಸ 5 ದಿವಸಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ ನೀರು. ಅದು ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ವೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಅವ್ರು ಕಳಿಸಿದಾಗ ಇವ್ರು ತಗೋಬೇಕು, ಕುಡಿಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಹೆಂಗಸರು ಗಂಡಸರೆಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸಗಳು ಪಾಪ. ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅವ್ರು ನೀರು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ತುಂಬಾ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
Well, this is not the only area which has experienced a drought-like situation in the middle of summer in Bengaluru this year. April 19th, BTS layout, Arkere. The residents of BTS layout in Arkere were forced to survive on water supply through tankers for about 3 months. The concerned authorities failed to heed to their numerous complaints but have never failed to make false promises. April 7th, Vidyaranyapura. The residents of Vidyaranyapura were seen creating a ruckus outside the BWSSB office in their area. After over of the taps running dry, the frustrated residents were seen having loud arguments with the officials demanding answers. April 3rd, Hebbal. The residents of Hebbal had taken to the streets against lack of water supply in their area for months. They were accompanied by none other than their very own area MLA. The residents' only source was water tankers, which cost them a fortune every month. While the water tanker providers make a bomb, the residents struggle to come up with the money to ensure they have water when needed. Meanwhile, be it the BWSSB or the BBMP, neither have bothered to wake up to the residents' pleas. Anand Burli for News 9, Bengaluru.
In Valagirahalli near Kengeri, a fight between two groups turned a festive atmosphere into a mess. All thanks to the massive divide between two groups.
A fair relating to the village deity Maramma was to be carried out. Villagers had been planning for the last few months. A temple too was built for the deity in 2011. And now it is precisely this temple that has become the bone of contention. A person by name Rama Sanjeevappa and his family have laid claim to this temple, forbidding other villagers to carry out any worship. Today, when Rama Sanjeevappa and his family took out a small procession to install the deity in the temple, other villagers created a ruckus. When the situation went out of control, the police had to intervene and even carried out a mild lathi charge. In 1989, the land was taken over by BDA, but as per the request of the villagers, a small portion of this land was also reserved for the construction of a temple. When construction began, Rama Sanjeevappa said that the land belonged to him, placed a board with his name, and even locked up the temple.
ನಿಮಗೆ ದಾಖಲಾತಿಗಳನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಾ? ನಿಮಗೆ ದಾಖಲಾತಿಗಳ ಸಮೇತ ನಾನು ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸುಳ್ಳು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ಉಳಿಸೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಜಾಗ ಉಳಿಸೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಷಡ್ಯಂತ್ರ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇಲ್ಲ.
If you ask the Tehsildar, this is what he had to say.
ಇದು ಒಳಗೇರಳ್ಳಿ ಗ್ರಾಮಸ್ಥರ ನಂಬರ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ, ಖಾಸಗಿ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ. ಈ ಜಮೀನ ಬಿಡಿಯನ್ನವರು ಭೂ ಸ್ವಾಧೀನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ಜಾಗ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಸೇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದನ್ನು ಬಿಡಿಯನ್ನವರು ಜಾಗದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾರ ಜಾಗ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಸೇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ.
All said and done, it is the temple that is being neglected now, and the deity Maramma begs for some attention. Pavitra, News 9, Bengaluru.